Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Sigma Footy. We are finally here, less than 24 hours away to the Euro 20 final between favourites England and dark horse Italy. Prior to the tournament, we focus on these two teams in this channel, with the squad selection over England and also Italy being the main dark horse in the tournament since they started this tournament in a totally different approach at all. It's not the Italy that we know of in this tournament. So it's great to see these two teams making it to the final. Coming to the Italy fan, Jeevan, you guys started this tournament with the opening match, match as a win. Do you think you guys can finish it that way?
It's hard to say because England is definitely going to give us a tough fight.
Mm.
I mean, whatever said, that squad is really powerful. I mean, their squad depth is actually quite decent, if you ask me.
Mm.
And talking about winning, yes, of course, I want Italy to win at the end of the day, but it all depends on how the game is going to turn out later. Yep. So I still feel Italy might nick it because their record this Euro has been perfect. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. But
Talking
definitely
about
going for Italy to win.
Yeah, so you are giving benefit of the doubt, and you did
Yep.
mention about records being Italy having upper hand. Yeah, that is exactly because Italy had more of final experience compared to England, at least in the recent times. With the Italy, on Euro, I think it was Euro 2012. I think they lost.
2012, yes.
2012. So, do you think in terms of experience wise coming to the final, will that be an advantage over England? And does it make a difference here to handle?
I mean, the past records that they are run in finals, I mean, in world tournament finals have been. You can't say that because they had their set of players when they went to the finals. So I think from 2012, only Chiellini is left in the squad.
Mm.
So it all depends on how the manager is going to tweak the game and see how the players is going to perform. Basically, his tactics and his strategy is going to determine whether Italy is going to preserve their winning record and bringing the cup or not.
Okay.
Yeah. But knowing that, I mean, they have that name that they need to preserve, as you mentioned, that they have that records, going into finals and all pretty often. Like I think in 2006 they won the World Cup, and then 2012 they went to Euro finals and all that. So they have a very big task to uphold, and let's see how they fare in the finals, bro.
So you're saying it is too long of a time, and yeah, despite having the experience that it would not affect much. What about from the England fans? Do you think England lacking of those experience can be a disadvantage over Italy, or Italy would have the extra edge to do what is necessary to win a final? What do you guys think, Rajan?
Okay. Hey, first of all, hi Jivan. Welcome to Sigma
Yeah,
Footy.
bro.
Right. Okay. So England fan. Okay, this is a lifetime experience because after 51 years, right, we are in final. So since I won this the
55,
first
bro.
time, England has been in final. 55, yeah. We have been in final for the first time. So okay. Regarding the experience, I would like to talk about more about mentality. Okay, actually, the mentality of the players, because as far as I've seen this tournament, I feel Italy's mentality wise they are very much stronger. You can see them. Okay, leave out the group games, but look at them how they managed to win against Austria, who was very good against them, and how they were mentally strong against Belgium. How they managed, you have that thing that Italy is always have a upper hand when it comes to pressure. There's like you see other teams getting shaken when they are at the edge of the game, or around that you want to reach the time. But you see Italy is always, you have the feel that they always come and compose. Even against Spain, you look at Cellini and Jordi Alba's reaction, especially before the penalty. The
Chiellini was already dominant in that decision itself. Yeah, he was showing dominance.
Exactly. That shows the mentality, actually. That shows the mentality. It's like they are playing. Okay, one thing you have to highlight here, Italy is one team that has nothing to lose, because none of us expected that from Italy from the beginning of the tournament. Yeah, they were just dark horses, but you see, like, if let's say, I mean, sorry to say this, I even like say if Italy
when to the knockout stage,
people were like, wow, Italy has done a good job. That itself is a big thing for them. But they have come up to this level with the squad they have. I mean, not so fancy as other teams.
Nope.
That itself, they have nothing to lose compared to England, where England now, of course, every time England enters a tournament, they'll talk about not going to finals, not going to knockout, not going to semifinals. We will talk, or even the fans or the media will talk as though we're going to win the trophy. Every time when we go to any tournament, we talk as though we have the best squad. I'm not denying that. So, and now it's happening in Wembley. So I think it all comes to your mentality. How well you go and make decisions, very crucial decisions at the point of the game.
Wow, so it's really a mix. It's going to be a 50-50 battle, you say, Rajan.
Yes. How players, but how prepared are the players are going step out of the pitch to show what this really means for them. So that is actually at the end of it, that's the only thing. Yeah.
But somehow I just have a feeling that England has an advantage here over Italy, because I think as Italy faced through their route to the finals, right? They had two big blows, which is Belgium and Spain, and in both the matches they lost one of their key players, which is Spinazzola, and Spinazzola was magnificent for them. He was enabling Immobile to play. Yes, I agree. He was playing so good as a wing back there, enabling Immobile to play like a Messi, taking the number 10 role. Without him, Emerson, oh my God, that's really a big difference. In terms of that, don't you think England is like, despite having, okay, I'm going to point blank here, easy route to the final, and having, a weak point set in Italy despite performing so well across the tournament. Do you think England has it this time, despite of, all that you say, mentality, experience and all that? Do you think England can capture that?
Okay.
England
Again, on paper, I think all of us will agree that England has a better squad, correct? England has like very fancy names, and on paper, England, and it's in Wembley and the easier route, and the players, they have rested the players well, no injury crisis and all these kind of things. But just take one thing: after Spinazzola was out against Belgium match, did you see anything drop from Italy? I mean, in terms of mentality, they were still strong. They still managed to finish the game as it is, and they did not have Spinazzola against Spain. It's against Spain. It's not against Austria. It's not against Hungary. I mean, sorry to say this, but not a very fancy team. And yet they managed to get the results. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, Spinazzola, as an England fan, I'm really glad that Spinazzola been one of the best players in the tournament. It's not there, but I still don't take things for granted, because Robert Mancini is there, and these players are all like, this is the Italian mafias, like, it's like really scary when you see them, especially singing their national anthem. So as an England fan, so I feel that's the only thing from my point of view.
Wow, Jivan, we brought in two England fans here, but looks like you're fighting not even against half of them. I think they are more inclined. Italy will
No, I
win.
mean, I definitely respect their pointers, because as brother brother Rajan said, what Mancini did against Spain was a big risk, because he had to work his players for 120 minutes, and Spain, surprisingly, with strings of draws and one win, and they faced us against us, I think they showed their full potential, and the depth they had for each substitute was so scary. And Insigne played his heart out until he was already dying in the squad. He was already dying towards the 105th minute, I think, before the substitution. So Mancini took a big risk, because I was pretty sure that they were going to hold the game till penalty shootout, and our main penalty taker like Insigne, Immobile, and all the good players were being taken out, because Mancini just had to go against, like, as what Rajan said, the mentality of Spain's immense depth that they had. They played one fantastic game. Like the Slovakia was a surprise, but other than that, they were like they drew all the games throughout except for Slovakia. So against Italy, they showed they were quite dominant on the pitch after they scored the equalizer. We were nowhere to be seen, because they were utilizing Emerson's place.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
They exploited that
Emerson
weakness.
did not. Emerson didn't play like Spinazzola. He couldn't connect with Insigne. Insigne played very well with Spinazzola, but not with Emerson. So somehow, as Rajan mentioned, the mentality was intact. And yes, I am still going to forgive Locatelli for missing the penalty. but it's okay. The rest still stepped up to it.
So, I think Jeevan, you're not being pressured here by the England fans enough to really scare you. I'm seeing they are more scared to face Italy. I see it, even despite the entire world believing
This
England would
game is
take it.
beautiful, brother. Anything can happen.
I thought you guys will be those England fans who agreed to the penalty that was given for Sterling's fault. I thought, where's that England fans, man? You have to back your team up. Come on, bomb! I want that emotion. Where do you think about? Okay, at least not taking away the point on Italy's weakness and England's lack of experience. Now let us talk in terms of how the game is gonna be captured midfield, right? Italy, no arguing that they have one of the strongest midfield players in the tournament. So how do they match up to England? What do you think, Bom? Do you want to say again, like Rajan, that Italy has upper hand here and then England's gonna, okay, let's see what we're gonna do here. Come on, man, back up your team.
No. Okay. To answer your question, yes. England is going to lose the midfield battle to Italy because in terms of quality and technical ability, definitely I cannot be like blind and blindly tell just because I'm an England fan. I will just tell that they're gonna overrun Italy midfield. No way. Because one thing why we saw how Italy midfield suffered, it's because it's against Spain, and usually Spain playing, if you compare Spain to Barcelona,
Double pivot.
they play these, of course they are this position based team.
Hmm.
So any team that usually all the teams that they faced earlier, they had the tendency to sit back deeper to play against Spain. Of course, when a team sit back against a position-based team, you won't see much chances created. Italy went to Spain to play their own game. And when a team comes to play their own game, definitely you can see Spain being more, vigilant in terms of position. You can see that all the passes sticking because there are more spaces to exploit. Of course, they created more chances. And definitely, if not for the bad finishing by Spain, Italy wouldn't be here. Just because purely bad finishing by Spain, and Italy just like they had this. See, one thing need to respect of Italy is they were super clinical. Up to that point that KSR scored, I don't see any chance, any major chance for Italy. They had one chance, then they scored, and they put Spain on the pressure to score the goal.
Yeah.
And the way they considered it is so not Italy style of defending. It's like, you see, they are able to defend that easily on any other day. It just happens that it had to be Morata, it had to be that passage of goal to be considered. And all these things must be noted by England. They must know that they are not gonna like dominate Italy's midfield, but we can absorb as much as we can and learn to be clinical like Italy, like how Italy perform against Spain. Like we get three, I suspect we can get like 3 or 4 chances max against Italy. You won't be getting like more than 5 chances against Italy. When you get those chances, you need to nick it. You need to bury it. Like, I hope that good chance falls to Kane. Even though Sterling has been so-called England's player of the tournament, I don't want him to have the major chance to score for us. I want it to be on. I want it to be on Kane, because Sterling, yes, he has scored 3, but if you see throughout the season, considering the Man City days, like he has this tendency to miss important chance in important games, and this is the most important game for England in 55 years. So I really hope, you see, like anyhow, we're gonna eventually talk about this home factor thing, right? I hope everything is in place now for England, home factor, and they have come up with a theory that we have bought the referees. Let it be. We have bought out the VR. Okay, whatever it is. So we have everything in place. It's like this is do or die. We have everything in favor for England, and we must just learn to respect Italy as how good they are.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Everything has been set in place for England this time. It's not coming from the hate. It is what it is. That is what we see. and the way they came to the finals with that penalty through semifinals even made it worse, even made the perception on England worse. But coming to your point, I think you said well on the midfield battle. So if England is not going to win the midfield, then what would be England's outlook on trying to beat Italy on the final? You guys won it, right? You guys won the cup. So what do you think? What does
Yes.
England need to
Luke
do?
Shaw, bro. Luke Shaw.
No. Okay. I'm gonna point out Italy play a similar game, not like 100% by technical quality and ability, but roughly you can say 80% similar game to Germany. And England versus Germany was England's best game in this tournament. If you take note, like apart
Sadly,
from
yeah.
all other teams, they never played that well against Germany. Of course, they only won. I mean, they only scored the first goal is after 80 minutes, but they were dominant. Like you can see, England is dominating the game, and that is exactly what England need to implement and also replicate the performance. And of course, you need to take 2, 3, even 10 times the level higher. You don't sit back on that performance against Italy. It's going to be like 10 times harder to do and harder to execute. I hope they can do that. We get, as I said earlier, get one chance, score, try to score, get it. We defend. And I would also like to correct Anand, like you started the video by telling that Italy is the dark horse of this final. No way, bro. It's
No,
England is the dark horse. Just because you're gonna give, I mean, the home factor makes you gonna tell Italy. I mean, England is not the dark horse in this. Tie means you are either blind or you're purposely finding fault with England.
no, man.
So you
To, to be honest, the dark horse of this tournament it has to go to Italy because Italy came up. Okay, rather than me talking about Italy, right? Let us tell Jeevan, why do you think Italy is the dark horse for the tournament?
no no
I
no
mean, I'll
no
go
no. You
as
said wait. Before you continue, you said dark horse to this tie, not the tournament.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. The reason being because first of all, Italy came. Okay, Italy came with an entire different outlook this tournament. It was not the original
Okay.
Italy that we know of. It's not the comfort that they play to. You see, the defensive team. No, they're no more defensive. They are more an offensive team now. And despite of that, the reason being they are already handicapped after facing Belgium and Italy with players like Barella, Insigne can't play 90 minutes up to their peak performance. On the other hand, England having of course not to the final, the other games more days to rest, and also and coming with less challenged teams, right? And also coming with the home factor. Don't you think Italy is the dark horse here? For a matter of fact, if you were to look at Italy's squad coming to the final, we don't have to talk about the final. Even the last game, you saw what happened to Barella being benched off. You saw what happened to Insigne being benched off. Is because there's no more left in them. And that is one of the reasons, because of the nature of the gameplay. It is pressuring them to press high, win the ball at a higher pitch.
No, okay. So if you're telling that, you're gonna like how to say, consider how fatigued are they, right? Like
Fatigue and
okay,
fatigue and how challenged are them. Yeah.
okay. Let's see the season. All the players played in the Europe season, right? Which Italy team is in the finals of Europe? None. Example, I'm telling. The England players played in European final, and they had a longer season than Italy. Next thing, in this to this tie, England is always the last to play because their group is the last. And next thing, to this tie, this final, Italy have 1 day extra to rest. Of course, no one actually wishes for injury. It happens in any tournament. So it just happened to be the best player for Italy. So on that, like, England needed this luck. You need a handicap game to somehow have a chance against Italy. You can't like face Italy on their full strength and think that we're gonna have a like free run. And the best, as I said, I'm gonna go with 1-1 draw, 1-1
Oh.
draw, and go for the penalties. The win at the penalties. I'm not gonna think that we're gonna 90 minutes we're gonna win Italy. So if you consider all that fatigue thing, it happens, man. Like the season, it just happens.
No,
And another one thing,
Yeah.
another one thing I like to add also. I think, I think the whole debate is now about like, okay, maybe now you say England is the favorites to win. Put it this way, has his favorites to win compared to Italy.
Yeah.
Only for two reasons. It's because it's in Wembley, and it's because we had an easier route. If let's say the same tournament was not happening in Wembley, everyone is going to say Italy is going to screw England upside down. Trust me, this is what's going to happen because we know how Italy was. Okay, very simple example. During all our predictions towards this side and that side, right? Okay, I'm very sure everyone was putting Italy names first in every knockout group. Correct. Everyone was putting Italy confirm masuk. Italy confirm masuk. But when it comes to England, England and Ukraine, England and Denmark, England. So this is the thing. So if let's say this whole same thing will happen somewhere else, if let's say it's happening in France or it's happening in Spain or German, then I'm sure people will say, England, tabole la. This one, if they go penalties, England, you know how England's penalty records and the thing. So, but now, if let's say now we say on paper in terms of squad depth and in terms of how they have behaved in the tournament so far, and the luck is on their side or whatever we're gonna say, and also in terms of the home factor. So maybe England looks favorites. And that's how the media portrays all the time because we always follow English medias and English football players, right? So it seems England is the favorites. But why, even in the beginning, why I talked about mentality and why I sound a bit pro-Italy, because we have to talk facts at times. As a football fan, I'm always a football fan first before an England or Liverpool fan. I'm a football fan first. I love the game, right? So talk the facts, regardless of what you have. You saw what Hungary did to all this, the so-called group of death, right? You saw what Denmark did with losing first two games in their group stage, right? So some miracles tend to happen at times. So, and again, like to quote this as a Liverpool fan, this is a very normal thing for me. Anything can happen anytime.
Actually, bro, if I may add, right, when you're saying like England versus Ukraine, you were thinking about all that. The reason why fans outside, they have this thought, despite knowing for a fact they have all world-class players in their team, is because of players showing club ego on pitch. I saw a best example against Scotland when Foden and Shaw's play. As a United fan, I really loved Shaw playing, right? I wanted Shaw to pass to Foden, but he ended up choosing something so difficult. Foden was free. So it is because of this, right? Fans start thinking, fans will have this mindset of whether this team will actually progress or not. But what I would give credit is to Southgate for changing all of this, because even when it comes to mentality and experience, bro, they've actually had a little bit of taste on that when they went to semi-finals in Russia. When they went all the way to semi-finals. So I would give credit to Southgate for turning England slowly into a club where, you know what, of course, English league is the most watched league in the world. And of course, players after this Euro tournament, World Cup tournament, they'll go back to their respective club and start clashing heads again. But outside, when it comes to a level towards this level, you have to show that, okay, unity is most important. If you're still going to show club ego that in your highest level in the world tournament, you're going to get screwed.
Yeah.
So I think I want to give credit to Southgate for changing that mindset, and wow. And I got to respect the unity that the England players were showing, especially during the celebration, and especially against in the semi-final. Wow.
It's way better than the so-called previous golden generation. England, Scholes, Gerrard, and Lampard season. Now they look way better. Yeah.
So guys, I think I thought this would be a fiery battle, between England fans and Italy fans.
Bro, we cannot be like this.
It turned out to be more diplomatic. So I'm coming to wrap this up. So what do you guys think in terms of prediction? Jivan, I'm gonna start with you. Italy versus England.
I'm gonna go definitely. It's gonna be a draw. It's going to be a draw, and each of us are going to choose our country to nick in the penalty shootout. Simple as that.
So it's a draw for you also as well. You don't think?
Yep, I'm going for either 1-1 or probably 2-2. You never know. But it's a draw. Definitely a draw, and sudden death penalty.
All right. And Italy your way.
Yeah, in Italy nicking it.
All right. What about Rajan? Okay, I'm going to go with a 90 minutes 1-1 draw. A 90 minutes draw. But I always have belief in this tournament. I think I've told you in all the videos. The biggest factor in this tournament is substitution. So in terms of squad depth and in terms of the fatigueness of the players, in extra time, I think England is going to nick it in 1 goal and then they'll try to finish the match, not going to penalty. And also knowing Southgate will say that penalty is the last option that you should take. It's okay to play out in extra time and lose there than to go penalty. I mean, he won't say that, but we know the history. England and penalty is the worst love story. So I'm going to go with 1-1 draw, 90 minutes and extra time. England's going to score 2-1.
All right, Bom. So coming back to you, what do you think the prediction will be for the final game?
I'm going for a 1-1 draw full time. Under 20 minutes, 1-1 draw, and England winning it in penalties.
Penalties. Yep. Well, thanks, guys. That was a great discussion, and going into the game, it is 50-50. It looks like a very fair battle, despite, we had all the arguments about England having their home crowd and pressure and all. But you guys ended up, predicting all three of you a draw.
Yeah, because
Rajan win. Hey, England win. Under 20 minutes.
Sorry, Rajan, England win.
90 normal time
90 minutes back. It's also an extra time. So normal times is a draw. And let us see how it will be. And congratulations to both teams for making it to the final. And definitely we have a lot more to watch for and hope for. Let us see and enjoy this coming Monday morning or Sunday night. Yeah. See you guys. Thanks.
Right. Thank you guys. Thanks. All the best, Jivan. Let's see the best.
ஐயோ